Well, hello, everybody. Mike Townsend for American Cycling Network here with Tamara Splitter. Tamara, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Mike. How are you?
I cannot complain, even though your training sessions have been hurting me lately.
Good.
Yeah, been putting me down in the dirt a little bit, but as we say in East Tennessee. Well, guys, we've got a very good subject today. Today, we're going to talk about how age impacts cycling training and performance. And because I'm old, Tamara's not. And
I'm old too.
yeah, I'm older than you, but yeah, it's a good subject. I don't know why we haven't talked about it till now, but everybody, you guys know that Tamara's the boss, licensed cycling coach, both with the USA Cycling and United Endurance Sports Coaching Academy. She has coached a lot of athletes, including myself and several of my friends at a national level, even. And she's trying to help me get ready for the United States Senior Olympics that I qualified for last September. Also, in addition, she is strength and conditioning specialist as well as a triathlon coach, qualifying athletes in the World Championships. If you haven't seen her Facebook page, I encourage you to go check that out because I saw that Tamara today, the lady that you helped reach her goals, the bodybuilder.
I did.
Uh, yeah. Also, she's a lifetime competitive athlete. She's involved in virtual cycling as a race leader, ride leader. She's a racer in the U.S. military esports. As an athlete, Tamara lives for a challenge in both endurance and climbing in both IRL and virtual. And I wished I could climb as good as she does. So I only tried to keep up with her once, and she dropped me like a bad habit. So, Tamara, in your experience, let's get started here. What are the significant ways age affects cyclist training capacity and recovery?
It's highly individual, Mike. I mean, I work with a variety of ages, right from my youngest is 18 and my oldest is over 70 in the cycling.
Yeah.
Mostly, though, it's the older one gets, it's a mostly recovery time that we see. There's increased recovery time that's needed. Um, more time in between hard efforts. Usually see a little bit of a decrease in VO2. That's a natural occurring thing. We can kind of get that to maintain at a certain level with training. But I do see reduced muscle mass, which is a natural occurrence as we age as well. And that's, something that we can try to maintain or avoid that decrease with strength training and whatnot.
Very interesting. How does chronological age compare to training age when you design training?
Well, chronological age is the age that you're at now. Training age is really the age, how many years you've been putting into your training. So it does matter a lot. When I'm looking at designing training for someone, especially if it's an older athlete, say they've been, training for 30 years, say someone's 55. I think you're about that age, right? So,
57.
oh, 57. So I just took a couple years off you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, at the age of 57, let's use you as an example. If you've been training for 30 years, your chronological age isn't really gonna matter as much as your training age. I'm gonna be able to push you a lot further.
Right.
So, there's definitely a difference when looking at the two.
Okay. A Garmin has me, I think, in my late or my early 50s. Is that a reliable
Yeah,
level?
I mean, a lot of people use that Garmin stat.
Yeah.
Mine's got me about 5 years younger than what I
Yeah.
am. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It says fitness age 51. My
Yeah.
target is 49 and a half, but I haven't been recording a lot of rides on Garmin lately. What role does training play in preserving performance as cyclists age? As we get older, what role does strength training play?
Oh, it plays a huge role. So as we get older, muscle is naturally decreasing anyway. So then you're compromising your bone health. So number one, everybody, regardless of whether they're training or not, cycling or not, I should say, should be focused on, incorporating some strength training to make. I mean, it's going to get you strength, it's going to get you more mobility, it's going to really protect your bones, and it also highly affects your metabolic rate as well. So the more lean muscle tissue you have, the higher your metabolic rate.
Okay, good deal. How do you adjust training volume and intensity for athletes over 50 compared to people in their 20s and 30s? And are there specific recovery strategies you emphasize for older guys like me?
Uh, so definitely, I mean, just because you're older doesn't mean that you can't train hard. But going back to the previous question, where we need to look at recovery, you may need a little bit longer recovery. So I may
Mhm.
be looking at, whereas I might give you a really high intense workout, VO2 workout, say on Tuesday
Mhm.
or today.
Mhm.
Um, I may not give you another hard workout like that for the rest of the week,
I
right?
see. Yep.
So, I mean, it's like I said, it's very highly individual. So I have to look at those factors where I might give you 3 by 12 or 2 by 15 FTP intervals where I might be able to, someone in their 20s that's, got a lot faster recovery and whatnot. I might be able to give them 3 by 20 or something like that. So I look at those aspects as well. I might shorten the intervals, give them less intervals, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Very individualized based on the
Okay.
athlete.
And do you find that older athletes respond different to high intensity intervals or threshold work?
Not really. I mean, it again, highly individualized. I do find again the recovery time has to be in there, but just because they're an older athlete or a master's athlete, I like to use that term more, doesn't
Mhm.
mean that they can't do high intensity intervals. I'm currently training a fellow who just turned 70 this year. He'll turn 71, and he's done nothing but, I mean, if you look at his fitness level since we started together, it's just gone like this. And he's in his, 70 years old. So
Wow,
yeah.
that's interesting.
What I really do is I prioritize quality over quantity,
Okay.
right? But that should be at any age.
Right.
It's not just about quantity. You really got to look at the quality of your training.
I got you. What mindset differences do you see between older and younger athletes when it comes to training consistency and goal setting? And do you find that older athletes are more likely to adhere to training plans because of life experience?
Definitely. Younger athletes are really gung ho. They're like full speed ahead. "Roar, I'm gonna go
Mhm.
get this" kind of attitude.
Right.
But when life gets in the way, when stress gets in the way, work, school, whatever it may be, they tend to
Mhm.
skip the training. Uh, the mature athletes, masters athletes, there's a different way that they approach it. Like they realize that it takes time, that all good things take time. And I think
Right.
it's just from life experience, through working and families and different things that they've experienced in life. They realize that some things take time. And yeah, there's definitely a different attitude there. And they're more apt to just be consistent and patient.
I see. All
Yeah,
right.
the younger ones are not as patient. They want it now.
I got you. Can
They
recreational cyclists in their 30s or in their 40s, 50s, or 60s become stronger than they were in their younger years? And what are the key factors? If so, what are the key factors?
Oh, absolutely. And I just talked about, his name is Alan. He's 70
Mhm.
years old. You can absolutely become
Yeah.
stronger. So, like, let's just look at someone that's been a recreational cyclist that likes to go out on their bike and, do a little spin around the lake or around the block or go out, with their friends or whatever, but they've never really pushed themselves. And so now what I find is the majority of athletes tend to be masters athletes. They tend to be kind of in that
Mhm.
45 to 60 block is where you're
Yeah.
going to see the majority of athletes. Why is that? It's because they're more stable in their life, right? They've got more time. The kids
Mhm.
are normally grown, they're out of the house. Now they're kind of realizing, oh, it's time for me now. I'm going to, get my own
Yeah.
hobby going, right? They're not maybe not working as hard or
Yeah.
as much. And so they've got the time. So it's structured training, strength training, consistency, habit building, all of those things play a huge role. Yeah.
I see. Okay. If you could debunk one myth about aging and cycling performance, what would it be?
Oh, that getting older means that you're just going to get, slower on the bike or less on the bike. That's just not true.
Right.
If you have structured training, if you have proper program design, proper rest, proper recovery, you can definitely get stronger. A lot of that, again, I have to bring it back to strength training plays a huge, huge role in all of that kind of stuff. It's very, very important. And I'm not saying that you have to go to the gym 5, 6 days a week. Typically, we see, for cyclists, I would recommend in the off season, in the build season, typically a 2 day per week training. And then when it's kind of in that prep time for their A race or their A event, whatever it may be, we typically will bring that down to once per week to focus more on the bike training.
Okay. That's interesting. I've been hitting the creatine lately. Is that a benefit for older guys like me that
Creatine seems to be all the rage right now. I
yeah,
mean, creatine has been used it's very highly safe. There's nothing
yeah,
wrong with it whatsoever. Personally, I've tried creatine. I didn't find for myself
yeah.
any gains from it. I mean, what you have to understand with creatine is there's certain weight gain that will go with it.
Well, I've
Creatine,
gained some weight,
yeah.
about
Well,
5 pounds.
yeah, well, that's typically it's around the 5 pound mark. So
Mhm.
creatine, and it's not fat, it's just
Water.
weight, and
Yeah,
weight can come, so it's coming from water. So it's
yeah.
actually pushing more water into the muscles.
Muscles.
So
Yeah.
you will find that from creatine. But I've actually had someone ask me about it earlier last week, and we always see it in sport, whether it's cycling, whether it's triathlon, whether it's bodybuilding, it doesn't matter, but we always see different trends that seem to come and go,
Yeah.
and you were talking to me about how you were drinking a little bit of baking soda bicarbonate in your
Hmm.
water.
Hmm.
So that was all the rage for a while, and, creatine now, and I think there was ketones there for a while back. So there's always something that
Yeah.
starts to really, build. But that said, there's no ill effect from creatine. You can't harm yourself with it. The only time it's bad for you is if you have a pre-existing kidney issue. It doesn't create kidney issues.
Right.
Um, so I encourage anybody to try it and see if
Yeah.
you know, it's just not for everyone.
Hey, I've had to do something with these tough sessions you've been giving me.
Food, it's your food. You got to
Yeah. Oh,
focus.
I've been eating good. Yeah. It's just, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough. I got to remember I'm old.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time today. I know that the people who watch this are going to benefit. We'll maybe expand on this in the future and maybe even talk a little bit more about maybe do some myth busting on some of the supplements because I've tried them all, I think. But thank you for your time today. Everyone, just make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.